Hello, Internet, welcome! It's time for the second round of the UK Hunger Games. My name is Counterfeit, that's gentleman over there is Sarge, and we're going to be bringing you this whole round for you to enjoy. Sarge, we know each round of the competition as the District's Battle for Supremacy is played on a different game. Which game are we playing today?
So, it's one of the most popular shooters out there. We scoured long and hard, and, we all know that Valorant has just come out, but we have even better quality games for you. We have Krunker IO. It is a browser-based game. It looks like a cross between Lego and Minecraft. I played about 10 minutes of it earlier on for my research. It is absolutely fantastic. I'm genuinely really excited for this. It's going to be awesome. I know some of the players have been practicing getting to grips with some of the mechanics, the pro skills, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can pull out, what surprises they have in store.
So we started off with, I believe, 14 regions total. We're now down to just 12 today, so how's the tournament overall going to work? We know we're going to get a lot of this Krunker game, but, what is it all going to lead to?
So, we are going to be doing one-on-one situations in one district against another district to start off with. And the kind of thing you have to remember throughout this is it's the loser that stays on. The loser keeps playing, and the winner is safe, so they don't have to play anymore. Bit different to how normal tournament formats work, but you gotta kind of work with it. It's a Hunger Games, okay? The loser stays on, meaning that we'll eventually reach a final, if you want to call it that, tonight, where we have 3 districts left that are yet to win. They will all be put into a free-for-all, and we're going to look at the total kills between all of the members of the district competing to figure out who then goes home, who is eliminated from the UK Hunger Games, and who is going to be the next most shameful district.
So, from the players we've got still left in, I know for us personally, we've got some familiar names in there.
Oh yeah, some very familiar.
Personally speaking, geographically speaking, are there any particular players or teams that you're going to throw your weight behind today?
I mean, District 12, of course. How could I not? If you're expecting an unbiased, professional, reserved caster tonight, you are not going to find it, because District 12 is clearly the best district on the board. Hang on, are they already out? No, they're not already out. I was waiting for a second there. District 12 are clearly superior, being from District 12 and York myself. But there's a few other names. We got a few casters that we are aware of that me and you have worked with before. We've got a few tournament organisers, a few players. So plenty of familiar faces for people to root for, to try and get your backing behind. Because all of these guys want your support. Because at the end of the day, we all want to be remembered fondly. And it wouldn't be a Hunger Games if we didn't have some fantastic martyrs for the call.
So yes, just to recap for any of you guys who are just kind of tuning into the stream now, we'll be doing 3 rounds, or 3 kind of like broad rounds of play today, but everybody's going to get to play in the series of 3v3s. I think there are, because real life being what it is, not all of our teams have got their full rosters. They will just play with the team members that they have got available, even if they will put them in a 2 versus 3 disadvantage.
Oh, okay. That's gonna change up a few little things. Hang on, 2 minutes. We've got I believe we have the first link to our first game as well, Counterfeit. So we can start jumping in. There might be a few teething problems because we've got to, our lovely President Naughty is forming all of these games individually. He's having to send out all the invites and get it all set up manually. So this is obviously a system we're only just ourselves getting familiar with, but we're going to do our best. It's going to be entertaining, it's going to be good fun, and hopefully we should have 7 games in total, ending of course on that big free-for-all, which is going to be beautiful. It's going to be chaotic as hell.
Yeah, so we'll just be joining our first game. So let's see. Oh, hello. Krunker's giving me a little bit of lip.
I believe there was a second link sent out.
Okay.
President Naughty said try the second one.
Okay, let's give it a go.
We'll see if that. Oh, yep.
Join?
Is that? Are we good? Are we good? We will get there. The first game's gonna be. The first game might be a little bit tricky, but once we get the first game out of the way, once we solve these slight problems. Oh, hello. I've lost my stream feed to you. I can't see what's happening anymore.
Yes, I'm doing a quick restart because Krunker...
Ah.
So for any of you guys who are confused why we're confused, we are coming in a little last minute here. So that's why... Ooh, hello.
What do you mean last minute? We're professionals. We are professionals, Calfee. We are always prepared. Well, I'm professional last minute, yeah, to be fair. And you did ask me about this at, what, 3:30 this afternoon? You were just like, hey, are you free this evening? I was like, you know I'm free, buddy. What do you need? And here we are. Here we are trying to play some beautiful Counter-Strike Minecraft browser. Can we say Counter-Strike on? Can we say that on stream?
Oh, I know what it is. Okay.
Go on.
Excuse me a second. Right. Sorry, New Game Blues. The reason it wasn't letting me join the game, or it wasn't letting me input the game to join, rather, was... Oh, no, I thought it was, because it hadn't registered me as being logged in. Let's give that another try. There we go. Right, there we go. So let's be a spectator. Let's join in the game. And excellent, I believe that we've figured out successfully what's going on here.
That might help.
Let's be a spectator, and let's follow District 1 versus... let's see, District 10 versus District 2. This is looking a little bit one-sided already.
Do you know what would help make this look less one-sided? If you re-enabled your stream to me so I could see what was going on.
Oh no! Has it thrown you away? How embarrassing!
I mean, I'm just stuck here looking at my own face, which, as I'm sure all of our viewers can testify to, is a lovely sight. I'd like to be seeing the game. You know, we're here to... Oh, there we go. Fantastic.
Alright, so you've come back just in time to see our players end the game.
Oh, fantastic. Who won?
Stuff.
Well, I know you said it was one-sided, but that was a bit, that was even quicker than I expected.
So, the first thing we've discovered, which is an important lesson for all you casters out there, is knowing whether or not the game is going to... Excuse me, that was the wrong scene. Is going to actually show you the scoreboard at the end of the game, or if it's not going to do that, and therefore leaving you in suspense about who actually won.
Okay, right. I have the caster's best friend. I have a pen and paper next to me, ready to make some quick scroll notes so we can try and keep on top of this. I believe you have a new link waiting for you, Counterfeit, in the chat to see if we can get in.
Let's do it.
President Noise furiously tagging both of us. We're on it. We have seen it. We're doing our best, okay? We're trying.
Come on, you silly game. Stop logging me out. Host ended the game. Ay.
This was working. We did that. Believe it or not, we did actually test this earlier on. We did try this and actually make sure it was working. We had some idea of what we were doing, and it was working, and now it isn't. So I mean, it's basically like playing League of Legends on a EU West.
Ooh.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Let's be honest.
Look at all our friends. Look at our friends in the chat. We got Nisa. We got Viperoon. We got Scriv. We got...
Do I dare open the chat?
We got Darkseal as well.
Do I dare open the chat? There's always a risk.
What's going on. Right, so the game believes me now when I've logged in. So that's good.
Okay, that's to start.
So something which is a little unusual about Krunker, which I haven't come across in any other game, is that it will just take what's in your scoreboard and then connect you to the game when you click on join, rather than say ask you to copy and paste it in, which is normal. So I think that's why it's a little bit more throwing off than normal. But Officer Naughty, I'm sure, will keep us abreast of any actual results. I don't know if that previous game ended up counting because it was 1 versus 3. But we've got a new link, so let's give it a try and see if we can end up with a game of somebody against somebody else.
Let's have a look. Let's see if we can make this work. Because I mean, it would be nice to have it work.
It's on balance better.
I didn't know where I was going with that. Really, I started. I was like, wait.
Okay, we've got a game. We've got a game. Let's get into that game. We want to spectate. Click to play. Let us in. Right, here we go. So we've got the game. We've got District 10 against District 2. This time, District 2 with more than one player. Let's see some folks getting smashed here. We've got, I think, a 2-minute... Yes, we've got the warm-up, which is ending in 1 minute's time, so we get a chance to fly around and take a look at the snow-laden map.
and this is Sub-Zero. So I believe we agreed that we're going to be playing on 2 maps throughout the evening. There is Berg, which is basically a Counter-Strike map. I think that's fair to say. I don't know the name of which Counter-Strike map it is, but it's one. You'll all know it as soon as you see it. Let's put it like that. And there is Sub-Zero, this lovely, like, little mountaintop village with snow, little alleyways. And the game mode we are playing is Hardpoint. So it's basically a moving hill. You score points by standing in the zone. Both teams can score points at the same time, so we could have a nice little sing-song in there. There doesn't have to be any killing, there doesn't have to be any violence, but of course it would help actually, you know, get your opponents out and help you win the game. So that's kind of what we're expecting. It's going to be good fun. I think the players know what they are doing, what they are about, and we've only no seconds left on the clock. Immediately is District 2 onto the point, scoring already.
Those scallywags from District 2, they're going to get extra points at the point, having more players on the point. That's something we didn't test before it came in. This could end up being really short. Especially because on this map, it seems to be a very well defended point.
It does seem to be incredibly well defended. There's 3 narrow walkways that we can go through, and so far it seems every member of District 2 has a good lockdown on these fields of view. No one from District 10. Oh, are they getting in? Are they getting in? Have they forced them off a point? Some clutch snipes from Aka.
Yeah, we've got 20 points. 20 seconds left on this point, but the District 10 team coming back in, gonna get mown down there in that last exchange. Gosh, I might switch to free cam. It's a little bit tricky to tell what the heck's going on.
There we go. Oh, that's what we like. So we have one member of District 10 still on the point. They are controlling it, but it's now just moved. It's behind District 2. They're going to be able to disengage from this fight and get over to there first, but one member going to be taken down in the square, shot dead at the fountain. But his teammates are over onto the point. They have respawned. I don't know where you are going with that camera count of it, but we can see now is another kind of choke point. There's only one way in. Parabox has this corner. He's going to get someone in the back. He's going to get Akers as well. Double kill there with the revolver, secure, stopping that push.
Yeah, that's the ultimate level of sneakiness you can see here in the Hunger Games. These districts, of course, fighting for their survival. There is no tactic that they won't employ to crush the opposition.
And while, of course, nobody is going to be executed for losing, we can't actually kill people live on stream. I mean, we're not going to be the ones doing it. We're not going to be responsible for any executions that come through. Whether the teammates turn on each other after their loss is, you know, their prerogative. The point has moved once again. They're fairly rapid. It looks like there's a minute on each point, and if you stay in it, it looks like the teams are managing to rack up about 500 to 600 points. So District 2 have pulled out to an early lead, and although we don't know how familiar all these players are with this particular game, apparently we do have a few first-person shooter players in our tournament today, so I'm wondering if they will make a noticeable difference, or whether this unfamiliar territory will hinder all of our teams equally.
Now you can see Paradox currently rocking up at the top of the scoreboard with over 1,600 points, is definitely carrying the squad. We saw them not just be sneaky, but also be very good, which is, of course, the most dangerous of combinations.
And you can see the AK appears to be District 2's weapon of choice. It gives them a nice balance between range and stopping power here, so we can engage people wherever they're coming from, because this point is a little bit more open. There's different avenues to approach, and from talking to some of the players that have been practicing on this game, one of the things they told me is you can respawn anywhere on these maps, providing it is not next to your opponent. So there's no guarantee of where your opponents are going to be coming from. There's no sides of the map. It's just a wild guess at where they're going to be approaching from. You can see here, one is coming through the alleyway, but the rest of District 2 are trying to get through this house. It's a narrow choke, but they might be able to force it out.
Now you can see the respawns have been very unkind to our friends from District 10 there. They're taking a long way round, and there's only a couple of different avenues to get to this last point. Already up to 1,700 here. Good charge in from Akers, but will get cut down. Oh, I take it back. There looks to be another sneaky way through the house, but Paradox is there to greet all members of District 10.
So far, he is doing work trying to defend this point. And you can see, although he's moved off it, so won't be scoring points, he's trying to cut people off in the tracks. KZ's going to have problems here as he comes through the door. Disappears.
Immediately taken out. as the point is moving forward. I believe we're close to our score limit here, which I think will probably be 2,000. We'll find out in a second if that is the case. Certainly District 2 have dominated. No, okay, we're still going.
2,500, I believe. Or I'm hoping is now the next score limit.
Is there a limit? We don't know for sure.
I'll see President Naughty has given us confirmation on what the score limit actually is. But there's a timer anyway, so we can figure that out. This first game might be a bit longer. You know, the settings, we had to remake the lobby several times over. We might have to adjust things on the fly. But right now, District 2 don't need to adjust anything. They've pulled out to a massive lead here. And again, on this choke, they've got 10 more seconds to just rack up these extra points.
Yeah, we see Alex going in desperation for District 10. They have cleared out the point for the time being. They can start getting some points for their own. I believe, okay, we're getting confirmation that this game may have had an extended points total as District 2 come in and slaughter everybody. Where's the next point now? Where are we? We're on the other side of the map. This time, the point favoring our good friends from District 10.
And for once, District 10 have got lucky. The point has spawned seemingly on top of them, but it won't matter. District 2 are massacring them. This is brutal. They just seem to be the superior FPS players right now. And it just doesn't look like District 10 have a way back into this game. It looks like they're going to be going on to the next one because we're seeing 30, 40, 50. If they stay on the point for the rest of this time, you can see the other members running interference. District 2 are about to take our first game and secure the spot. Never mind, the point limit hasn't been set to 2,500 after all. Oh, I was trying to get it all hyped up. I was trying to give it, you know, a big talk down, but no, it's the point limit apparently has continued. President Naughty has perhaps misunderstood how to set up the lobby. I mean, we can't really have a go at him for that. It's,
I mean,
you know.
this game, as you said, is pretty much decided one way or the other. I think our players are going to carry on playing as long as they've got the opportunity to shoot each other in the face. They will take that opportunity. But bear in mind, guys, that in this particular tournament, thanks to the genius of El Presidente Officer Naughty, that the losing teams will be the ones who get to see again. So District 2 may have secured their future in the Hunger Games, but not their future on today's stream.
No, and you talk about the teams playing on, trying to keep the game going, and at the end of the day, if you are District 10, you may as well, because it's more practice for the next game. You have to win a game to secure yourself, to secure glory for your district, so any opportunity they get to take that extra practice, have that extra time learning the maps and figuring out the recoil patterns of the weapons is going to be very, very valuable. The point has moved once more back into this slight hill. There's the option through the house, 2 narrow alleyways, and it seems like all of the points on this map are extremely difficult to siege once controlled.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right. This extra time here, while District 2 are losing this particular game, because we're only playing on, you know, a couple of different maps, there's a very good chance they end up back on here once again. As we check in with District 2, who look like they're just going to go around and try and slaughter as many opposing players as possible. They're not even bothering to spend too much time at the point, knowing that the point difference is going to be too great to overcome.
Yeah, with only 2 minutes on the clock, it is going to be a monumental task for District 10 to try and regain this, and probably one that is out of their reach. It seems every time they manage to find a kill, every time they manage to get something on the board, the members are cut down in earnest. I don't know what you're doing there, Counter, but you have left us with a nice overhead view to have a look at anyway. I think you just need to click to play because you're still logged in as a spectator. I'm hoping.
Sarge, don't tell me what to do. I know exactly what I'm doing at all times. I'm following the orders of El Presidente, who says, get out of there, you guys. Apparently, Naughty has got another game for us, because as we saw, yeah, that was pretty much a done deal for quite some time. So we're not going to waste any more time and go on that stupid game.
We're not indeed. So I'm keeping a note of this as we're going on. It's very strange having to note down the winners and then cross them out and move on the losers. That seems a bit counterintuitive, but that was District 2?
Yes.
District 2? Yes.
So District 2 won the game, so District 10 remained.
Meaning they're out.
Yes, well, they're out of this tournament, but they're not out of the Hunger Games. They remain. So there's going to be, next week, I don't think it's been officially decided yet what game is going to be played. It's going to be with 2 less teams, but still quite a lot of players.
And the reason why we might be seeing a bit of imbalance between some of the teams tonight in terms of their player rosters is I believe one of the big League of Legends tournaments was moved back to today rather than yesterday. So some of our players that would have been available are now not. And we might see that play out as a bit of a disparity in some of the games going forwards. I'm not sure if we're balancing out the number of players on each team or if it's just a case of you got unlucky, you're going to have to take the man disadvantage. But hey, that's the nature of these tournaments. If it was an actual Hunger Games, if you were battling out there in some kind of big dome and your teammate said, hey, I got other priorities, I'm going to have to go somewhere else, that's the way it hits you.
Well, it looks like, apparently, by some serendipity, is that the right word? I don't know. Good things happening by unlikely coincidence.
That is the right word.
District 4 and District 14 both denied their full roster, actually playing against each other, from what Doctor's saying in the chat. I hope he's right.
Oh, okay.
So that works out pretty well.
That helps. Yeah, that helps. That helps quite a lot.
Alright, we've got our new lobby.
I can see President Naughty having a go at us in the Twitch chat because we weren't listening in the Discord chat.
Well, so the reason that happened was I was like, we don't have another game to go to, so until we do, I'm not getting out of this game.
Yeah.
We need that sick content, yo.
We play other teams, but those games are 2v2. Doctor, hey, we'll see. We've got a schedule lined up. We have planned this out beforehand. Whether we end up sticking to it or not is another story.
Alright, it's time for District 6 versus District 5.
Yes.
Let's leave no regrets out here on this battlefield. Sarge, do you think love will bloom on this battlefield?
I mean, you do get flowers that bloom in the snow. Snowdrops being one of them, I think. I'm hoping, at least. So maybe love will bloom as well, but somehow I doubt it. District 6 and District 5. I'm gonna have to bring up my UK map again because I don't know how this has been split in terms of the districts and where they are.
It's in the dock. It's in the dock.
It's in the dock.
District 5 are holding a tight hit. I believe they're representing Scotland, Ireland, and Wales as well.
No, that's District 6. That's District 6.
No,
the
District
other
6.
one.
Oh shucks, I got the wrong way around. Okay.
District 5 is Exeter, Plymouth, Penzance, and Bristol. So quite a large district.
Well, that's my kind of part of town, so even though I know Darksteel already, famed Irish caster, I will be supporting
Of course, this is
them.
Darksteel! Oh, come on, District 6. I mean, they're on the point already, but it looks like they have just been routed. So District 5 are gonna move in, and like we said, those respawns will typically put you as far away as possible. So District 6 gonna have to approach again. BB Muffin picks up 1, but the Governor snipes 2.
And Carlsberg, look at that sneaky Carlsberg in the corner, picking up tips. Nice sniping from the Governor there, though. Cleaning out the space. District 5 cleaning up. I think we're going to be seeing the move, though. The objective has changed. Let's zoomify our way through Sub-Zero. And look, the points dropping directly onto District 6.
Yeah, it does seem that the points rotate in the same order each time. So District 6, having watched our previous game, they know where to go. They're already primed and ready, but a man down means they're going to be... It's a 1v2 now, defending it. 1 man left. The Governor takes it down, and Rover District 5 manages to get the point.
Come on, District 5, show that the Southwest is, in fact, the best. I mean, District 6 has got a lot of talent to call upon in, multiple different countries worth. But, hey, it's getting the job done. Red Team, District 5 is best team.
I mean, let's be honest, if you can't win your games convincing when you're pulling from 3 different countries worth of talent, it's a bit of a shameful display. So come on, District 6, you're losing behind in points at the minute. You are slightly lagging, but running through that choke point one at a time it's not going to do you any favors. BB Muffin gets a kill. Darksteel, can he do it? He can't. He gets taken down as well. My man, what's going on, buddy?
Let's switch things around and see, perhaps, if we see a change of fortunes here for District 6, who are back to their initial spawn location. Darksteel coming out, getting cut up by the Governor. Let's look at those points. Governor with over 1,000 points, as Kurdisk as well, looking extremely strong. The point actually is very exposed this time round, so it could give an opportunity to go for a wipe and then recapture instead.
Yeah, it certainly will. And like, we know these points do rotate in the same order, so we know where it's going to be going next. It's going to be going up to that high ground with the house access point and the 2 small alleys. So I think it's fair to say this is one of the more difficult points to hold, and it moves to quite a nasty one. So I'm wondering if District 6 are going to abandon this now that there's only a few seconds left and try and rotate over first. It looks like they're going to get the last bit of cap, but being wiped now, it could give District 5 a move over. But 6 have actually respawned closer. They're going to be on this point first.
Yeah, they need to get in here and catch up. They've got just 45 seconds as come in District 5. Good defense there from Morka, down to barely any health at all, but will get torn to pieces. Governor and Carlsberg moving in. As we said, there's only 3 entry points. Darksil, nice bit of sniping there, and Muffin. Carlsberg gets the wall there. Muffin coming in, doesn't quite get the job done, and reinforcements have arrived for District 5.
Carlsberg will get 2 as they try to take the point. They still have a lead, but it's not by much. District 6 could come back into this. I want to see them try and forgo this last point. Just get the position. They know it's going to be back in the chapel. It's a nice defendable position. Set up there first and just be there as soon as the point spawns. You don't need to try and push this because District 5 are only getting more points and they're already moving down to the last one now. You can see that there are some members of District 6 there. It's going to be contested on the entry.
Alright, let's follow the Governor in here as District 5 are the first on the point. You can see the grenade launcher coming out, I think, from Darksil there, using some of the alternate weaponry we've got here for Krunker. Some of our players coming into this one for the very first time may not know what options they have. But right now, they're going to need every option they can get to get District 5 out of here. Time is running out, and 5 have to be taken out immediately.
Clearly, some of our players have been putting in the work. They've been putting in the effort to learn this game and get a few levels up, because that is how I believe it was Veracity was streaming before we went live at about 5:30 and figured out yourself that if you don't level up, you don't have access to all of the weapons. So we could be seeing a bit of asymmetric gameplay where some players have an advantage, but District 5 have certainly had the advantage this game. The Governor has been picking people off left, right and center. I believe with one final headshot the game will end. Double points going over to the side of District 5. They will take it. They will cleanly move on to next week. District 6 are gonna have to fight again.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can see there that Kurdist is very high up the top of the score. I think we should maybe report them for their performance in that game, managing to more than double the score of, well, pretty much everybody else in the game. Not quite, but most of them. Yeah, I'm really excited to see some of our other players as well. As I said, we're both personally acquainted with a lot of the players in here. We hope to get to know some more of you guys. Thank you for spamming the chat and letting us know what you guys think is both fair and unfair about today's competition. I think this is the only time I'm going to be on Krunker, so we won't get a lot of chance to kind of, adjust. But it'll be useful.
Are we not having the grand finals on Krunker? Are we not having like the 1v1 ultimate deathmatch at the end to really whittle it down when we have our finalists, the best of the best, the cream of the crop of the UK Hunger Games? Is it not being decided on Krunker Counterfeit?
I mean, I can't say with 100% certainty that it's not, but
I have a heavy heart. I'm enjoying this. I'm liking this Krunker. It's good fun. It looks frantic, but it feels like it's exciting. I'm enjoying it, and I know quite a few of our players have actually been enjoying it as well. I know some of the guys that are competing from SQ1 that I know, they've actually been playing it together in our staff league Discord quite a lot. We've been watching them. They were giving me some tips earlier on, some advice on the different weapons, recoil patterns and things, discussing the meta of this game even, which clearly putting in the work. I'm hoping it's going to pay off for some of them, but it seems that just the superior FPS players have the edge right now.
Alright, let's get back into the game itself. It's going to be District 8 against District 12. We're seeing CJ Shaw seen it from around the place. Again, guys, the losing teams will be carrying on in the competition. The winners will secure their spots from here on out. You see, we've now moved on to a different map, which, as you mentioned before, may be somewhat familiar for our CSGO players.
Yeah, there's certain similarities between existing maps that can be spotted, but it's not going to play out exactly the same way because remember, this is a hardpoint mode, meaning that the areas you have to focus on are going to move around the map. By the looks of our time on Sub-Zero, is going to be 4 different points to contest around the map. So some well-known locations, but perhaps some areas of the map that you don't know as well. There's Red Container, for instance, going to be a focal point, and it looks like some members of the red side, District 12, are going to be spawning here already. But right now, it's a 2 versus 4 by the looks of it. I don't think that's quite right.
Yes, I do not think that's the way you want to go. That's going to be embarrassing if you end up playing against your own team. But let's see some quits in the near future. Yes, there we go, Cyborg. Good job, good job. Alright, so it's 2 members of District... there we go, we're back up to 3. So District 12 with control for just a second. The District 8 come back in. Mr. Cyborg late to the party. Will get torn apart for their troubles, just about surviving. But a strong control so far for our friends up here. Starlup, CJ Starlup, and Elgriff and Wise Traveler. District 8 controlling the point.
And it's a really easy place to try and defend. You can see they've got this high ground defensive cover over this main approach through the alleyway, which seems to be where District 12 are just bottlenecking through. CJ Short again trying to push through here, and while they are getting round, while they have picked 2 people off, they've got the member flanking as well. That'll be a clean ace. They didn't lose a man. They'll be able to recover some points here at the end, but with the point about to move, where is it gonna go next? Oh, that's gonna favor District 8 because it has spawned behind them.
Yeah, very smart play from a District 8 there. You know, you can afford to give up that point, but it's barely worth any points anymore. This feels like a really good defensive one here. Only a couple of different approaches, and you can see how quickly District 8 are concentrating their fire and taking down each individual member who comes their way.
Once again, you do have the high ground if you want to try and sit at the back and snipe people out, but there's also lots of options to get a flank. You can see the crates have been used there to try and find a height advantage, but will not matter. CJ and Mr. Cyber once again coming in. They're going to take down the point, but immediately shot in the back by Elgriff. District 8 will retake the point once more, and District 12 are struggling to find purchase right now.
You can see good spread out there from 8. You got Wise Traveler up on those crates once again, providing just a few different options. You see the map itself is quite large here, so I think it might be best, as is the case here, to spread out, look for the point, and try and lock it down. And that's exactly what's going to happen. As charging in once again, District 8 are wasting no time at all. They come charging in. Elgriff gets 1, looks for the second, takes down CJ as well. Mrs. Cyborg up on top, and now face down in the dirt.
It seems that no matter what District 12 are trying here, it's just not managing to stick. Elgriff always seems to have these flanks, always seems to be pinging off these headshots. Wise Traveler drops Afro there in just a matter of seconds. This is such a fast-paced game, and Mr. Cyborg, although he does trade the kill back, it's still District 8 that have the point.
You can see Elgriff, the top scorer on the District 8 squad, holding the point. It seems like, again, we'll be seeing our friends from District 12 making their way around the map, looking for that next spawn coming in. We've got 2 minutes left to play. District 8, they're already out to 1,200 of a 2,000 limit, as Elgriff will run right into them.
Yeah, and where actually has the point moved to now? It's even further behind them. We saw District 12 trying to take the center point on the map. They thought that it was going to move back to the crate, but they weren't quite correct. They're now going to have to try and take this point, taking a loss on the way in, and Wise Traveler is hot on the heels. Mr. Cyborg will take him down. The point is secured for the first time convincingly by District 12.
Yeah, very, very nice. And again, like we saw before, with the team having this much of an advantage, it may not be possible to catch up anymore. Certainly, District 12, they're acquitting themselves pretty darn well, but let's see, so we're going to have we're going to have 1 more objective in the game. You can get about 500 points from it. I think it might be possible, but they would need to get right on the point and stay on it the whole time.
I'm not quite certain whether we'll have enough to do it, and I think it's going to be the red crate again in the middle of the map. We saw that as our first point. It is the red team need to get here. District 12 need every single member on this point. CJ's there already. You can see the two teammates are here to back him up. He takes down Wise Traveler. They could do it now.
Good defense here from District 12. You can see Afro 001 carrying the weight as Mr. Cyborg holds on. Hit coming in from multiple flanks. You've got to remember, as many players as you get on that point, you'll multiply up your scoring. We see 30 points at a time. Charge in though from District 8. That's a disaster. The comeback may have just evaporated. 19 seconds left. The score for District 8 is just going up here. Last charge in. A few seconds remain. District 8, they've got enough points to secure themselves the win. Will they be able to survive to the end? Looks like not the case. So it will be District 12 at the end getting knocked into the next round of the bracket. Very nicely played, particularly towards the end.
Oh, perhaps the closest game we've seen of the evening so far was quashed by Wise Traveler. District 8's flanking master coming in from the side and taking down the two members of District 12 that were securing that point. With that, he will stop their hopes. He will stop any chance of them scoring more points, and he will force them to play the next game in the Hunger Games this evening.
I'm kind of wondering here, because some people were talking about the idea of playing this one out as a team deathmatch, and I think one of the reasons why we ended up going with this more objective-based mode is because in some cases we are playing 2v2s or, in best case 3v3s, and some of these maps, as we've seen, do get pretty substantial, so we want to make sure there's a reason for all of our players to get in and have a fight in one particular place.
Yeah, actually dragging people together, it makes it easier for us as spectators because obviously we only have the one camera. You saw in the first game when we're trying to keep it on people's point of views themselves, it was extremely jumpy. It was rather difficult to actually tell what was going on. So being able to free cam around one objective gives us a nice narrative to work with, and it gives the players that option where they actually have to go and take the objective. They can't sit in a corner and camp. Not that I'm accusing any of our players would stoop to such a despicable and low tactic, but it forces them together, it forces them to play for an objective, and it means that you do actually have kind of the different approaches you can work with and the different strategies of forgoing a point to get a better advantage on the next rotation.
Alright guys, we are gonna get right into our next game. So, we have got District 14 versus District 1. We've got the foul-mouthed Doctor. Yes, Doctor, I've been seeing what you've been saying in the chat, you scallywag. Up against District 1. Let's hope we hear no more of that. Oh, that terrible, terrible Doctor. Ugh.
He is one of our more vocal players, I think it's fair to say. He's normally talking a lot of sense. I'll give him credit, he does know what he's on about, but now been taken out of his comfort zone. He's been taken away from his precious League of Legends and thrown into Krunker. Will he still have the same potency? Will his wicked tongue come back to bite him as other players look for revenge? Let's see who else we have in this team. I mean, right now, Doctor's going to be absolutely fine because District 14 have 3 players and District 1 are they're looking rather lackluster.
So Doctor asking, are we not able to move? Yes, this is what the warm-up is. It's just a chance for everyone to connect. It's looking like District 1 maybe missed the memo here. So I don't know if we're going to end up seeing a remake rather than just a game where District 14 end up just standing in the point until they win.
You know what? Let me jump in. Let me jump in. I'll take them.
No.
I'll do it. I'll fight them all. I mean, yeah, Doctor's on to the... So we did kind of say earlier on when, the two of us and President Naughty were discussing things, but if a team didn't show up, we were toying with the idea of that, kind of been their own fault. Don't want to put it out there, but, it's... Everyone knows. Everyone's in the Discord. Everyone knows what's supposed to be going on. But I'm assuming we're waiting to see what has happened. I mean, Doctor very cleverly has tagged a few points in case we are going to count. But
I think we've got some members of District 1, but as Doctor has said in their own inimitable way, that Geomancy is definitely a player for District 1. So
yeah.
I think we're going to get a new link and a new game, so... Don't worry about this one. This is,
Might be starting again.
Yes, there we go. Let's rise up into the sky like the angels, the beautiful angels that we are.
Okay.
And there we go.
Okay.
Our beautiful faces. You can have us back.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see. There's our new link. So if I'm not missing my guess here,
Go on.
Sarge, I think we are. Oh, hello. Accidentally joined. I didn't mean to. That we are going to be coming into the last part of our first round of play.
No.
No? Have we still got one more?
No. We've got 2 more games after. Cause you're thinking from a bracket that we got made on the online website, but that was scuffed because we have the weird ending. Because we've got the free-person free-for-all at the end, we've got the strange ending, and we kind of had to fiddle with it a little bit to get it actually working right. So you're thinking of the tournament, right? We have, for our first round, we have District 14 versus District 1. District 11 versus District 4, Kashka represent, and then District 9 versus District 3, I believe, and then we're into our second round where we'll start seeing some of our teams again, and then we're into the utter mind-boggling chaos minefield of the freeway free-for-all where we have to do maths live on stream very quickly.
Alright, so we found the two-headed Cerberus that is Geomancy and Veracity hanging out here. We'll have to see how they do. Geo, working on the Newell's League of Legends product, is apparently is not a first-person shooter player, so can imagine this going pretty well.
Geo. Veracity, of course, was who we mentioned earlier. Found out that you could unlock better guns by leveling up. So, say another 40 minutes to try and grind out to get some better gear. We'll see if we have any new equipment brought in by her, but Doctor's in. Who else do we have on this? We've got Doctor, we've got Veracity,
definitely got mixed teams going on.
Geomancy again. I think, look, Geo, we love you for working out all the Newell, but come on, there's a button at the bottom that switches teams. You have to press that before you load into the game, and I think you might be missing that key detail here. Just left.
I think it doesn't...
No. Has Doctor left and switched teams as a gesture of goodwill? He has. We're giving him so much flack. He's left to allow Veracity and Geomancy access to this point first. He has switched teams, and at the minute it looks like it's a 1 versus 2. Who else is supposed to be in? I'm gonna invest. I'm gonna name and shame people on stream.
So, this is right. This is right. So these were the 2 teams where they said that they both had 2 players, so they actually play an even game. So it's Geomancy and Veracity against Doctor and Mirau, I guess. As I'm seeing this crate strategy being employed here by District 1, and they are way in the lead because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that it's also because of some issues getting into the game, the players being unfamiliar, that District 1 got that first access to a point, but Veracity is already over here. She's into the far corner. You can see Geo just takes down Morale over there. Doctor will get her back with the revolver coming through. Veracity's now going to have to defend. She will get Doctor as she approaches. Will Veracity and Geo? Geo said she wasn't an FPS player, but so far the team's doing well.
Yeah, I think it's, they're both doing very, very well. As Morale gets cut down in a hail blitz, Doctor coming up as well. Nice shooting there from Veracity, going for the old jump shot, which of course, if you're a CSGO player, you're probably a little less familiar with.
He is forced back there. He waits for his backup, but we're seeing a sizable lead pulled out by District 1 here, but nearly 1,000 points already. 10 is yet to be scored for the side of District 14. And Doctor, he's going to be cut down again. The point is moving. Geo and Veracity are low, but they're already moving there. We could see a bit of bloodshed here. Doctor, he's going to have to try and chase them down.
Yeah, very good control so far from District 1. Veracity up against Morale. There is a 2 versus 1. And in a 2v2 game, of course, it's so essential to get your 2 players coordinated as a unit. There is some regen of health in Krunker, but it takes a while to kick in. And in these short firefights, it doesn't even end up becoming an issue.
No, and if you... Oh, Doctor is Veracity getting the double again. Yeah, we said that she'd been streaming this, she'd been trying to practice and work on some of those angles, some of the mechanics, and clearly paying off. I think Doctor managed to snag the headshot with a revolver there. Morale will finish that off. Geo is left on the point alone, but with only a few seconds left, it will switch over. Doctor and Morale are now going to have the inside track, but I think Veracity spawned on that side of a map.
Alright, there we go. It's going to be a big pickup for District 1. It will be Veracity versus both. Takes out one, takes out the other. Veracity! Oh! You absolute monster! You are just destroying here. We thought it was going to be a wash in favor of District 14. Instead, it's been entirely the opposite way round.
District 14 just don't seem able to approach any of these points. They are getting cut down in droves, and I wish we could see what guns these players were using a bit easier. We can see Doctor's got the revolver. He takes out them both while they're trying to take down Morale. Morale will spawn behind, so we'll be able to get some points back here. But will it be enough? They're going to have to take this point convincingly. They're going to have to get onto the next one as well. And I believe it's going to spawn over to the crate in the middle in 2 seconds. District 1 are already... District 1 are already going to be there. They're going to have the inside track. Geomancy on the point already here.
Yeah, we're checking with our 6th third-person view here. I think Geomancy and Veracity were just... Yeah, we're trying to be... Actually, to be fair, I think they might have actually successfully played down their own skills in order to throw off the opposition, because they've nearly won this round already. Veracity going up against both members again. Morale is down low. We got support coming from Geomancy from the side. Morale taken to pieces. And there's another good 20 seconds worth of points for District 1 to pick up.
And I mean, even if you take the benefit of the doubt out of the question, you take away the 300 points or so from their score that they got while District 14 were loading into the game, they still have a commanding lead. You know, they're 1,000 points ahead, and with only 3 minutes on the clock, I don't know if District 14 can actually come back from this.
Morale doing their best as, again, this crate has been the source of success for District 1 so far. They can just hide inside it and score loads of points. Geomancy is going after Doctor there. There's some aggressive play for you. And it's looking like Doctor is running away because that's where they need to be right now on the new objective. Full control right now for District 14, but they are struggling mightily. We've still got a lot of time left on the clock, but 14 need to really pick up their game.
Yeah, they do indeed, and I don't know if it's the weapon choices that they've picked here. We've already said that this is quite, it's quite a large map. There's some quite long sight lines, and Doctor's got the revolver, which of course does a lot of damage, is very accurate, but it only has the 6 shots. Morale has the submachine gun, so in the situation where you're defending this point here, down this fairly long choke point, not going to be able to reliably output the damage. You can see Veracity with the standard assault rifle is able to dish out some real hurt right now. She's able to pick up people at range. The point has moved once more. It's going to force the teams to rotate. I believe it is up onto this high-rise overbridge again. Morale is already there.
You can see Doctor trying to chase in, but Veracity is right behind and showing no hesitation at all, jumping directly onto head. Of course, for whichever team wins out here, they're going to be able to avoid playing any further today. That would be huge for them, because for our losing team, they'll now have to carry on with their 2-person roster and beat a 3-person roster.
Yeah, this was a bit of a disadvantage for both of these teams, so it was so crucial. And I think if we're potentially looking forward, we know that the losers of this game would fight against District 12. That was a pretty close game between both of those teams. It came down to one final push at the end. So I'm wondering if Doctor and Morale would be able to try and take that. Maybe a bit of a mental reset, getting a bit of a more practice, going on a different map perhaps, would give them the edge. But right now, it's looking like they're in dire straits. They've managed to claw some points back, but still fairly convincing for District 1. This final point is going to be the decider.
I like the play here from District 1 as well. You'll see Geomancy falling back as soon as Veracity goes down, because they're knowing that if you stagger those respawns, then you're going to be much, much weaker as a team. The last 30 seconds left to play. District 14 need to go through here. Yeah, District 1, they've won this one. No miracle play from 14 as Doctor comes around the corner. We'll run into both at once, and Morale is too far away for the assist.
Oh, he tags both of them with one shot of a revolver, dropping them so low but not securing the kill. Morale will come and finish them off, but unfortunately it is in vain. Not enough time left on the clock to secure those crucial points. They will get a bit of consolation there, but not even cresting the 1500 mark. Ultimately, it will be District 1 that secure their spot and are safe until next week.
Alright, so there we go. Another team continues on. Very impressive stuff from Veracity and GMRC, safe for another week. I think that's exactly what they needed to see. So yeah, nice going. We'll of course be getting into our next game as soon as possible, as we are close to locking things down. I think this is as good a time as any to mention what we're going to be having coming for you guys in the final round of play. We've got that free-for-all, which is a very unusual way of resolving a competition like this.
It's going to be an interesting one. We're kind of thinking, how can we actually finish out if we're going to have 3 teams left over that still need to secure a win to go on? And there wasn't really an easy way to do it. It wasn't just going to be loads of games over and over and over in kind of a round-robin style. So we thought, you know what? Let's throw everyone on the map. Let's just make everyone kill everyone, and the district with the combined highest kills at the end from all of their members will be the winners. And I believe the 2 runners-up will fall by the wayside once again.
Yes, the teams fighting to be the 2 teams not eliminated today. I'm still trying to figure out like a good way of explaining that, because I feel like that's more confusing than it needs to be. Our bottom 2 teams will be eliminated today.
It's one of those things. It's a really simple concept, but it's so counterintuitive to like online tournaments and stuff that it seems difficult. As I said, I'm doing brackets to keep us updated as we go on throughout the day, so I can kind of keep track of it myself. And I'm crossing out the winning team and putting the losers into the next round. It's just like this seems very strange and alien territory. But I believe next it's going to be 11 versus 4. We have our newest link. I believe there is a familiar face that I am aware of. I believe my good friend Mr. Kashka is from District 4. I might have got that wrong. He might be in a completely different district altogether, but I believe that's where he's from. Which part of the world? Oh, he's around Oxford. It's around Oxford, around that kind of area. I keep having to look back at this map because I'm trying to think of areas, but I'm just like north, south, like Ireland, Wales, Scotland. I'm not good with geography, It's not a strong point.
Right. It was always one of those things that I didn't pay attention to in school, because I was like, why would this be important?
Wait, hang on a minute. Do we have President Naughty? Is President Naughty playing
for District 4? Oh my gosh! Let's hope that they do well, I suppose?
Well, we've got Kashka, we've got President Naughty, we have Torok, we have Guest 3, Guest 4, OM Nudo. It's going to be a heated competition. We are on Berg once more, so we know by now where these rotations are going to be coming through. And it looks, as the game is actually going live, we've had a few players drop out. The game is now live. This is going to be the discrepancy of the players now. We can see President Naughty is already on the point, but shot him back. Can't
District
do that
11.
to our president.
Apparently, in that part of town, they don't know the meaning of mercy. I think some more players dropped out to then put names in for themselves, but that wasn't really the most tactically sound move.
Yeah.
Viperoon, I think, is one of the District 11 players.
Of course it would be Viper, and of course it would be Will that didn't put his name and get it set up right. Come on, man. We've got an SQ1 feud here. We've got Kashka and President Naughty against Viperoon. I love it. I don't know who to root for.
I think we should root for the closest game yet, but that doesn't seem to be where we're headed. Because District 11, they've got 2 members on the point. They're doubling up on their point scoring again, guys. This is a little counterintuitive if you're used to other sort of domination game types. Getting more points and having more members on there means it really does snowball pretty heavily. So let's check around. Where is our next point gonna be? Gosh, I can't even keep track of it. I think there we go.
There you are.
In the corner.
And we can see Twitch TV Officer Naughty represent. He's already on this point. Kashka is still stuck away on the other side of the map. Guest 3, I don't know who Guest 3 is. Have we had a player drop out? Again, I'm sure this was a 2v3 at one point.
I guess for the time being it's going to be a 2v2. As we got Kashka coming in from the side. we'll do a nice bit of hopping around the place, but all the dolphin diving in the world. I'm going to help you as we have got our El Presidente also getting cut down in short order. This is looking like it's going to be extremely one-sided.
It is indeed, and you know, I was having a bit of inside information from Kashka early on. He was streaming the game to me and explaining a little bit. He was talking to me about the meta, how the weapon he was using, his weapon of choice for FAMAS, was not generally considered a good gun. And I mean, so far he's sticking with it. He's trying to make it work, but it's not having a lot of effect here for District 4. The standard assault rifle is seeming to be doing a lot better as we see him cut down once again. You might want to switch out, buddy. You know, take the hint that is not working. Officer Naughty does secure the point, but they're already at a substantial deficit.
So, going by what Will or Viper has said in the chat, dropping out in order to equalize the teams. What a hero.
What a gentleman, what a gentleman. He doesn't want to get beat on stream, of course. I mean, he wouldn't be at risk of that because District 11 is currently ahead. And it seems like it's going to stay that way. You know, I thought that there might be a few strings pulled, a few backhanders to help our El Presidente thrive in this competition, but certainly not, as he is unceremoniously cut down from the side again. I think Kashka has the read of it here. He's going to get the flank and the kill, but ultimately the hard point stays with District 11.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of fighting taking place away from the point. And from District 11, they're making the real strategic choice here. Do they keep members on the point to maximize their scoring, or do they keep them out in the field to keep the other team away from the point itself? It's looking like for 11, being as far ahead as they are with 5 minutes and 40 left on the clock, they're flying it out slow and steady.
Certainly, Kashka manages to get the kill there, but he's going to have to approach, immediately cut down. Nudo spawns in front of him, doubling up on the objective right away. I think there needs to be a bit of a look at where the players respawn into this. It seems you respawn closest to your allies, meaning if you control the point, it gets even trickier for your opponents to take it away from you, because you always have those enemies spawning in front of you. Again, Nudo is taken so low, but Guest Free, it spawns immediately nearby. The point is going to move over in a second. I believe it's going to be the red crate in the center again, but with such a substantial lead, I don't know if District 4 can make a comeback here.
As we zoom in, yeah, we can even see, yeah, discounting even the massive point advantage that 11 has, their individual kill scores, each member of District 11 more than both members of District 4 combined.
This is looking pretty brutal. I don't think there's a way to put it. We will see District 4 take the point, but Nudo's coming in from behind. Kashka manages to pick him off, but El Presidente will fall. Guest Free coming in on the side will get the headshot. They're on the point now. This is what the inside of a container looks like. It is red with the blood of our compatriots. They are trying to hold on to this point, and so many members have lost their lives there. Kashka is taken down once again, and something you said earlier on, Counterfeit, about Geomancy and Veracity, making sure that the deaths weren't staggered, backing away if a member was lost. And it seems that Kashka and Officer Naughty are not doing that. They're running in one at a time, and it is costing them big right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit disastrous here with nearly 4 minutes left to play. District up to nearly 2001 versus 2. No hesitation from Nudo. They won't win out that time, but they will be a little bit afraid.
Ooh, Guest Free taking out Officer Naughty. It looked like he was going to try and hold the point by himself, but he will be taken down. Kashka's caught in the crossfire. Nudo comes in the back and finishes him off. We're approaching the 2,000 point mark. Can Officer... Nope, he can't. He's already cut down. Having to approach from this lowered ground is such a kill zone. You can see people just being picked off left, right, and center. It might be worth trying to flank around and get a bit of a fight on bit better footing, rather than going for that massive height disadvantage that seems to be playing such a large role in defending these points.
Yeah, with this entire point going across to District 11, they're up above 2,000. I think this one is pretty much done. Yeah, so while it's not being enforced on the actual game itself, this is a 2,000 point limit, as much as we know that, District 11, they've secured their place next round. District 4, however, will have to be our penultimate team qualifying, such as it is, for the next round, and the chance, the prize, such as it is, of being thrown out of the competition.
Is that a prize? Is that something to be heralded? I mean, I don't know. Being forced to play games you're unfamiliar with to a live audience who are going to rip you to pieces in the chat if you don't perform is, I mean, that's a lot of pressure. Getting out of that environment could be seen as a prize for a lot of people, but it's also a chance to make a name for yourself, become a hero of the people, like our good Viper, and apparently District 11 are favourites according to him. I don't know about that one, but that's what he reckons, because they are playing fair, they are playing gentlemanly. They backed out to make that a 2v2, and it really wasn't needed.
Nido carrying a little bit too much. It's a bit too much. I don't know, but yeah.
Strong words.
As we've been talking about, our players come into this one playing in a game which is, it's at times both familiar and unfamiliar.
Yes.
I'm kind of curious to see, maybe what the backgrounds of the teams that do well here is, because we were talking about this right back at the beginning. If you're coming from CS:GO, you certainly got a lot of visual similarities, but the way the game modes work means that what you're used to doing could in fact end up hindering you as you try and play this game like your game.
Especially if you're on a map that is so similar to the one you are used to, the one you are drilled and rigorous in playing and practicing. Just things being in slightly the wrong place, angles not quite being the same, could really throw you off. But I don't know, maybe we could get some post-game interviews to try and find out those. I don't want to put too much pressure on your editing, your scene setup skills. I know you put this video, this background together in like 30 seconds before we went live, and you got quite stressed about it. So I don't want to put any extra pressure on you. But I don't know. Maybe we could find out, because it would be interesting to know whether your Counter-Strike, your Apex players, your Warzone players are going through here, or whether it's people that have been putting in the hours trying to learn this game for this week. Like, the dedication to learn this game in a week. I want those people to go through, because to me, that's what this is about. It's about the randomness. It's about just the kind of scuffed way that you're just like, okay, here's this game that no one's ever heard of. Go, you're playing it next week, and if you lose, you're knocked out of the competition forever. It's like, oh, okay, right, guess I best go learn it then.
Oh, boy. There we go. Map by Christy Crust.
Hey, thanks, dude. We appreciate it. 'Cause I like this map. It does seem like the choke points and the areas where the hard points actually go to on Sub-Zero here are very, very difficult to defend. I think there's only kind of an open area near the fountain that was difficult to defend. The rest of them are quite enclosed. They have quite good vantage points over any approaches. And once again, we're going to see it started off in the chapel, the church, the refectory.
That's fine. The refectory.
Is a refectory a church, or is that like a cafeteria?
I think you're in the right area. I don't know, but the important thing here, of course, is that we've got immediately District 9 with 3 players able to take immediate control, which doesn't seem like the best idea, but I suppose presumably it's random. Yeah, they're managing to rack up already over 200 points. Ego Speed coming in, goes 1 versus 2. We know that's just not gonna work when our players are so little practiced on this game. Officer Naughty coming in from the side. Wait a second, they're in the previous game, weren't they?
It shouldn't be Officer. Wait, Officer Naughty? What is? Maybe Officer Naughty was filling in because of someone being unavailable. I'm not certain about that, but he's definitely in this game. And another familiar face of ours, Scriv, on the green team for District 9. He's currently holding the point. He's currently racked up a few kills. He's not quite dead yet, but the teams are really trying to get in here. And this church is so difficult to defend. We know where it's going next. It's up across to the boxes, I believe, around the side of the map. There is only one approach to there, and while it is a fairly open approach, it is one choke point. It means you can't be flanked. People can't get around the side. You know where your opponents are coming from.
Yeah, District 9 are going to clean up pretty darn quickly. So, Sarge, you've been saying we can keeping track of the tournament itself. How close are we to the end of the first round and some new opponents for our losing teams?
This is the end of the first round. This will decide which of our teams gets through off their first game, and then we're going to start seeing the repeats. We're going to see, first of all, District 10 versus District 6, then 12 versus 14, and 4 versus the loser of this game. So at the minute, that would look to be District 3, but I mean, anything can happen. The teams know by now where these points are going to be. The next one will be the Fountain, of course, and it seems that Flex King Tyrin, Ego Speed, and Snuggly, they thought that it was going to be up by the houses. You can see them waiting up there to try and take control straight off the bat, but they got caught out. They misremembered the information, and crucially, District 9 will take the point once more.
Yeah, I mean, oof. Well, finally, District 3 managed to win out a point with a decent amount of time left on the clock. 30 seconds and change for the red team, District 3, to pick up some points. As we can see, this one is almost Gonzo. As double pick up there. Mean that 3 keep on scoring those points. It seems like they're too far behind. District 9 are throwing everything that they can. This is a wide open point. It should be very hard to defend, but apparently District 3 have got what it takes.
Scriv trying to ramble it there. They have managed to get the inside track on it. They'll rack up a few more points before it moves. All 3 members here, and they're going to be able to move straight up to the house at the top. They can flank behind, they can move back into the church and get the avenue up there. Meanwhile, District 3 will have to go up and through the building. We've seen how much of a killing ground that can be, but utter chaos ensues as the teams approach this objective.
They're desperately trying to sneaky peek into that. As Scriv actually does get taken down, they've got help coming from the other side though. Gosh, white player names on white backgrounds, that's a good idea.
I'm just going off a kill feed after it happens. I'm finding that's the easiest way to try and see what happened, because I think Ego Speed, no, sorry, it's Flex King Tyrin is on the point. Ego Speed goes down, Scriv with the double. Ego Speed comes in, picks up Scriv. He is now on the point. District 3's lone survivor right now. He needs reinforcements. They know they're going to be coming through the house. They've got that information now as Flex King Tyring spots it out. Are they going to try and force it, or are they going to flank around? You can see they have one member is down already. Here comes the force.
Ooh. Unfortunately, Lollipop is a little late to the party, and Snuggly is able to turn back and reject as the new point comes in. Lollipops this time is well placed to pick up in the chapel. Once again, we've seen that this was a strong defensive place for District 9 to get into the game. Maybe it's the doorway for District 3 to get back in themselves.
It is not going to be the case, unfortunately. 2,000 point games mean that this one is already over. I believe we're still playing to 2,000 points, are we not?
I believe that's the case, so we'll be getting our next round soon. Certainly District 3.
Yep, that is the case.
They've shown signs that they could get back in, but they will at least get the chance to use that new momentum to come back in the second round and keep themselves from that elimination match.
Yeah, it seemed that once District 3 managed to get onto a point, they were very good at defending it. District 9 tried to force through the building there, and they did have some problems, but it was approaching that point, trying to actually get the purchase on that area in the first place, that they were struggling with a little bit. So if they get the rotations down, if they manage to move across the map before their opponents, we could be looking at a strong performance, especially when it's against District 4, who, it has to be said, weren't looking too great.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as well, what we get from our teams who are continuing in the tournament. I mean, there was definitely a little bit of salt in the chat from Doctor, who I think, in an attempt to be sporting in the first game, gave a few points across the other team, which I think actually could have been enough to swing the game, ultimately.
Yeah, it was. I think he was complaining that he didn't realize how much tempo was involved when he agreed to play a 300-point deficit. Which, I mean, that is fair. You know, that is a fair point. If you are unfamiliar with it, you don't know how quickly the points do rack up and how close the games can potentially be. A 300-point difference, I think that's all we've had about between our closest game of the evening so far. So choosing to be sporting and choosing to give that away, it did prove to his detriment overall.
I mean, that's the thing as well, though. If you decide to be sporting, then that's, you're making that choice. You can't take that back retroactively and say, wait a second, I've decided I'm not going to be sporting. You guys just lose.
Just like, hang on a minute. This didn't work out.
The game plays out differently depending on what the relative scores are. You play more aggressively if you're already behind, more defensively if you're ahead. So you can't just say, we take back those 300 points and therefore the game is ours.
Redo. Do over. Didn't realize rules. Do over. Go again. But we have our next link, and
Ooh.
Officer Naughty is keeping me on my toes because we're actually going for a different set of brackets to what I thought and had been told we were going to go. It's going to be Team District 10 versus District 3. So District 3, hot off that loss there, we're going to be up immediately again, up against District 10, who were our first game of the day. Have they gone rusty in about the hour we've been waiting?
It's true, we are in a pretty fast-paced competition. Of course, we bring you every single round, every single game. We don't want you to miss a single moment of these guys shooting each other in the face. And also, just like Doctor, giving themselves, you know, enmities, bitter enmities that they'll carry with them once the tournament is over and possibly forever.
I mean, these are the kind of stories you tell your grandkids here, right? You know, that time that you were trying to be sportsmanly in Krunker, you gave over a loss, and then you were eliminated from the UK Hunger Games. Like, you were there when that happened. You were watching the stream. You were in the game on that fateful night, and it's scarred you ever since. You don't know, you know, the long-lasting effects that this can have. People are putting their pride at stake here in this competition. They're trying to perform. They're trying to come out, and if it don't go so well for you, you could end up with egg on your face. But I'm sure that's not going to be the case. You know, Doctor did show a lot of signs of promise there. He pulled off a couple of nice shots with revolvers in his game, so I'm sure he'll be able to come back in with that tempo advantage. But yeah, Team 10 versus 10-3. I believe we've got our link to get into the game.
Yes, we'll be
Kind
in
of fit.
just a second.
Excellent.
There we go. Lovely. Alright, it's time for the start of round number 2. It's time for that bitterness overload to overwhelm our players and leave them unable to do anything but grouch about it till their dying day. Yeah,
I need to keep looking back at the actual map of where these districts are, because I just full on keep forgetting how this has been split up. I mean, it's the same thing. The south always gets more than the north, but I'm not going to complain about that too much on stream, because District 10 is Liverpool, it's Manchester. We have a northern district here. I want them to try and take the win. It looks like they're out to an early lead, with District 3 are struggling slightly here, but the point's been abandoned in favour of a kill. Snugly might be able to move in.
Snugly able to sit on the ejector for a little bit of time, but we can see immediately the response comes in. Akka's chased inside the Tunnel of Love, as it's looking like for the time being we are going to see Red Team District 10 with a pretty major advantage, but this is looking to be one of our most competitive games yet.
And I think both of these teams actually played on Sub-Zero, if I remember correctly. So this is a new map for both of them. They might not necessarily know these rotations as well. They might not know the angles. You can see a bitter gunfight is going to emerge down this choke point. It's going to end up favouring District 10. They're going to be able to take this point at the top. Akka's pulling people out with the headshot. The sniper rifle does seem to be his weapon of choice, and so far is a deadly choice indeed.
Now, we're seeing some questions from for sure asking if our players know how to change weapons in the game. That's a totally legitimate question given how new some of our players are to this game. We are seeing the sniper rifle coming out here from Alex here, so they definitely know what's going on. I don't know how much of a difference that's made, but as you said, I think the standard assault rifle seems to be doing a job pretty well.
I mean, it's the same story in a lot of games, isn't it? The standard assault rifle is your all-round, it's your go-to, your jack of all trades. It's good. It's okay in every situation. No, it's not going to be able to take people out from across the map. No, it's not going to be able to put a hole through someone's chest at point-blank range the same way a shotgun would, but it will suit you well in every single situation. So while you're moving around, while you are constantly adjusting to this new environment, it's not a bad option to just get familiar with and get a bit of skill in. Because remember, these guys haven't had the most practice. It's not like we're playing a game that people will have hundreds and hundreds of hours in. I'd say you're looking at maybe 10 hours at most from someone that's really been practicing and putting in the work. So sticking with the assault rifle, just getting that practice and getting that familiarity might be why some of our players seem to be really popping off.
Alex, I think, just managed to get past Akka's. No, sorry, I take it back. They're on the same team. That's what you get. We don't have the health bars in the third-person view. You get all sorts of confused, as it looks to be that Alex is going to be charging out onto the map itself, trying to get an early move in towards the next drop. It's going to be District 3 on top of it, and an even game from before. Now heavily favoured District 10 crushing through with almost triple the score of 3.
But with 3 members here and the advantage in the defensive position, they will be able to rack up a lot of points. They need to take out this last member of District 10 here. 2 members are still alive. 2 members are still scoring. If they can get Snuggly back into this point to reinforce, they might be able to hold on. Ego Speed spawns in behind, so there's 3 members here. And this does seem to be one of the things about this game. If you can take out all of your opponents, you get the respawn in, you can keep racking up these points. Because if you look at the difference between these teams, it is closing rapidly.
Yeah, this is a huge upset if they come back from this point. In most of our games, we haven't seen that time limit coming into play, as Alex does get a lovely bit of sniping through there. Let's switch to that first person. Let's see how it's done.
First person, but doesn't show the gun. I mean, you always have slight problems with spectator clients. You can see it when he scopes in. Oh, lovely!
Oh!
Second, will he get the triple?
Oh, no!
Oh,
yes!
He misses it! He gets it in the end. Beautiful. Alex cleaning up there. He is on an absolute rampage. This man with the sniper rifle, now that he's got this high ground, these long sight lines, he is going to be a nightmare for District 3 to try and assail.
Jumping headshots with the rifle, it's crazy. Flex King does manage to go off pretty well there. Let's see if we can find our way back to... Oh no, I think Flex King must have died in the intervening time. But still, very nicely played. One of our closest games yet. Flex King surviving for now. It's going to be District 3 back on that point with 2 members. They're starting to close the gap. We're actually going to run out of time, I think, in this game, unless we do see a recapture.
We could potentially. That's District 3 holding on to the point still. Flex King Tyrin doing a huge amount of work. I'd love to see what kind of kill spree he is on, but the point has shifted and this is disastrous. District 10 are already here. They only have a few points left to get, but with 3 members swarming them, they're going to be taking down Tyrin and Snuggly. They storm the point and Ego Speed is just going to have to get over here.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of points locked in. 2 minutes, 33 left on the clock. KZ coming back in with Alex in support. Will get cut to pieces. These assault rifles en masse are absolutely murderous. We've got a flank coming in from Akers. They're going to be able to make those big hits, but they fall down once again. District 3, they've overtaken. And now they are getting close to 2030.
They'll
60,
do it! They'll
90.
do it!
It's a comeback for the first time in the whole freaking tournament.
District 3 are safe and through, and that means that District 10 move on to our free-for-all bracket. The teamwork will not matter from this point forwards. It is all about killing, even your own district members. This is why it's going to get very, very confusing very, very soon. But we've got 2 more games in the meantime before we reach that state.
Well, really, really exciting stuff. That is honestly some of the best play we've seen so far. We know that, you know, even while we're in what would technically be considered a loser's bracket, a lower bracket, so teams that have lost, we've still got tons of really, really good players playing right now. And, yeah, the strategies apparently do matter. It's not just about the individual skill.
Yeah, and we're really seeing a couple of these different weapons showcased. We saw when District 4 were playing Doctor and Mua were using the revolver and the submachine gun, that different arsenal that they decided to opt for, and it had mixed success. But we saw there that Alex was using the sniper rifle and really scoping people down. He was really popping off on it, and he was making a huge impact on that game. It wasn't enough in the end. District 3 took the game overall, but it was so close.
Yeah, I mean, there was some, genuinely beautiful play in that last game. I'm never going to forget seeing that leaping, headshotting, like, quick-scoping sniper.
Yeah.
You know, to have that be in the same game, I get the impression from looking at the chat that maybe they weren't aware that the 2,000 point limit was in place, because they played so well. To then go on and lose is super, super shocking.
I mean, they did lose overall, but they're still not out. They still have the free-for-all at the end. And, you know, if you're hitting those headshots, if you're getting those quick shots in and taking people down, you could rack up an insane amount of kills in a short space of time. So it's not over for District 10 just yet. They do still have the chance to try and make it out of this week onto the next week. But I believe now we're going to... See, if what I've got written down here is correct, we're going to have District 12 versus District 14. But I think El Presidente Norte is adjusting teams a little bit on the fly, so I don't want to commit to that just yet.
I mean, to be fair, the entire reason this tournament even exists is that El Presidente operates by his own rules.
12 versus 6.
12 versus 6, okay.
That means the final game like this will be 4 versus 14. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Let's make a
fine.
It's
all fine. So again, this bears explaining because it's going to be confusing once we get to this final game. What the final game actually will be. So we've got our first set of contenders. We will end up with 2 more teams entering the final 3-way free-for-all game. Now the game doesn't support 3-way free-for-all team games, or even 3-way team deathmatches.
Yeah.
So, Sarge, how are we going to navigate our way through this conundrum?
So, what we're hoping is going to happen, and it is a big hope, is, like you said, because the game doesn't support 3-team deathmatch on a map, we're having to throw all the players into the same arena, and it is a pure free-for-all. You know, you don't get points deducted for shooting your own district members. You don't have to capture any objectives. It is a full-on free-for-all by all definition. The one difference is we then, after the game has finished, look at the points of each player and tally them for the district as a whole. So, you know, say District 10 score 300 points, 600 points, and 900 points. We add them all together, and we come out with 1,800 points for the district, compare those against the other districts, and then the 2 losers are eliminated. That's the hope, that's the plan. We'll see. It's very fairest to say.
Alright, let's rise up into the sky. District 6 versus District 12. This is going to be for the second place, or second safety places. Hey, look what we've got here.
That's an LMG.
Darkcell, you monster.
Darkcell coming in with the heavy weaponry, hoping it's going to work out for him. I mean, is that the LMG or is that... Because I thought it said BB Muffin had the LMG.
I don't know. So, guys in the chat who know the game a heck of a lot better than we do,
that looks like an AK.
It's
got a box. Yeah, that looks like an LMG. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a old light machine gun. So, guys in the chat, let us know. Who is it? What weapons are the best here? What are our players doing? Should they be sticking with the basic guns?
That's an AK.
Yeah, that's our good old-fashioned AK.
I'll have to brush up on my polygonal weaponry, it seems.
Polygonal?
Polygonal?
I think so. That sounds just about fancy enough to be the right thing.
Polygonal. Yeah, we'll go with that. But we are back onto Berg. It's District 6, which is Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland. Sorry, all of Ireland and Scotland as well, and the Isle of Man. So there's quite a large area for District 6 to cover, quite a large pool of talent to pull from, but it seems that will not matter because District 12 have routed them. The boys from North Yorkshire and surrounding area, Yorkshire and the Humber, will take this point. And now I'm really torn because I've got my home boys, District 12, against my favourite man, my favourite co-caster. I'm sorry, Counterfeit, but my favourite co-caster, Darkcell, on District 6. I know, I'm torn.
Well, I mean, it's alright, Sarge, because he's my favourite as well.
I mean, how could he not be? He's dreamy.
I mean, I just, you know, words don't suffice, honestly. As Darkcell gets cut to pieces.
Oh no.
Could this mean...
That's not what either of us want.
Well, I mean, I'm torn as well. Because if this goes poorly for District 6, it means we do get to see them once again. But under the circumstances, it's like seeing someone at a funeral. It's like, oh, I wish we met under better circumstances. This could be the end of District 6 in the Hunger Games, if this game is any indication.
for a second when you said meeting someone at the funeral. I thought you were like going up to a corpse and be like, "Oh, I wish we'd met under better circumstances." Oh God, I
You are
misunderstood that
uninvited
quite.
from my funeral, sir. You
Oh
stay
no!
out
It's
my
like,
casket.
it's like going up shaking man, just like I mean, I wish we could have spoke more in person, but. Oh no, District 12 are really coming out with a dominating lead here. Like 1,300 points clear over District 6. It really doesn't look like Darksil and the gang are having a lot of luck here as well. And like we said, they've got a large area to pick from. They've got Scotland, they've got Wales, they've got all of Ireland and the Isle of Man. You'd have thought they could produce some talent, but only just taking the point now, right as it switches, it seems for coming up short.
Yeah, I think it would have been much better for District 6 to get onto the map and try and find somewhere else's Hero Gaming. Simon, welcome to the stream. Yeah, we are deep into the UK's Hunger Games, which is not, of course, affiliated with the movie franchise, not the book franchise, not anything else that has ever been called the Hunger Games in the history of anything ever. It's all UK.
Or in fact affiliated with anything at all, apart from all of us getting together and deciding we're going to have a damn good time as far as I'm aware. But Officer Naughty is the man who has brought you all of this entertainment during this troubling times. We of course do hope that everyone is staying as safe as you possibly can, looking out for yourself and your family, and that this entertainment will be a brief glimpse of light in, you know, these dark times.
Yeah, just trying to keep you occupied as we stick in for the long haul. For District 12, of course, they've given District 6 the greatest gift of all, which is more time on stream with an absolutely crushing defeat of District 6. That is just one of the most one-sided things. Darksil, you may be the best caster, EU, but unfortunately, the Krunker skills
Krunker.
leave a little to be desired.
You're terrible. You may be a good caster, mate, but you are terrible at first-person shooters. That is not your I'd say stick to Dead by Daylight, but we both know what happens when you play that. If anyone doesn't know, he always gets found first somehow. Like, it's... I don't know how he does it. I really don't know how he does it. But that is going to be District 10 and District 6 confirmed in our free-for-all throwdown at the end. District 12, the Yorkshire and Humber will move on to next week. Finally, if I'm correct, we should have District 14 versus District 4? That sounds about right. That sounds like the two teams that you get to play. Yeah? Can Officer Naughty please confirm? Is that correct?
I hope so. We're getting pretty close to our finals here. I suppose yes, so we have got confirmation that is going to be the case. So I'm really excited to see what ends up coming out of our free-for-all, because in particular, we've seen our players adapting to how they play on this zone control kind of mode. But in the free-for-all, you've got the option of going after your own teammates for points as well.
Yeah. And the reason that we kind of picked for free-for-all, the three of us decided on this, was because although there was the possibility of people basically agreeing to farm their own district for points and try and get an advantage that way, this game is that fast-paced, we kind of thought that people wouldn't have a chance to look at each other's names before they made that conscious decision. So we're hoping it is just going to be a full-on devolving into madness, chaotic free-for-all. It's gonna be difficult for us, let's be honest, Counterfeit. We're gonna have a bit of a tricky time deciding what to focus on here. I think I'll just be basically reading off the scorecard at the top of the screen, be like, oh yep, they're dead. Someone's popping off. Oh wait, nope, now they've been killed. But yeah, we're hoping it's gonna be a decent way. We need to somehow find a way of getting the scores at the end of the game before they disappear, which I've just realised we haven't discussed or given any thought as of yet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out as it goes. We've got our last game of the second round coming up, everybody. So let's find out who will be our final participants again. This tournament being run, I think this is the only tournament I've ever heard of being run this way, which is that the losing team progresses in the tournament, with the ultimate prize being elimination from the overall competition itself. I think that's probably the easiest way to think about it, because it's counterintuitive whichever way you get it.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, but it is a bit of a weird one. I mean, but as we said, the reality is we can't do an actual Hunger Games because one, we're not allowed to kill people, it's kind of frowned upon, and secondly, we can't go outside. Like I don't know which would incur the greater punishment right now, killing someone or going outside. That's potentially up for a bit of debate given the way that things are going, but we're doing it online instead, which means that when people die, they get knocked out of the tournament.
Alright, so we're in it to our final game of the second round to find the final competitors in the final elimination match. Too many finals at once? I think probably not enough. It's going to be the Sporting District 14 up against District 4. This time, Doctor's playing for real.
Yeah, this time he's not giving any advantage over, but if we remember how this actually went before, Kashka and District 4 did struggle a little bit. I think it's fair to say, so they might not need any, kind of help. District 14 might just absolutely trounce them. We're seeing exchange of fire straight out the gate.
Oh wow, District 4, Sub-Pops surviving by a hair's breadth there, and of course we know, as we mentioned before, the teams respawn near each other, so one person surviving is almost as good as two. Sub-Pops gonna be hiding out in the tunnel of love, keeps you alive for a little while longer. Doctor around the corner gets a hit. Casca 1 versus 2, dives through the tunnel back out the other end, and Doctor takes them down.
Executed with the revolver, just like any good officer should do. The gentleman's weapon of choice is what Doctor will be wielding, and so far he is doing it to great effect. But a good flank from the low ground. Miral is brought low already. Doctor has been hit. No one has died just yet. The green team are still scoring points. Miral is taken down by Kashka. Subby-Pops takes Doctor, but the point is moving.
Let's zoom a room over to our corner here. Let's support Krunker streamers and support getting into that corner as fast as you can. It's 2 versus 2. Doctor slammed into the corner there, and that's going to equalize the score between our two teams as we're looking to see another very competitive match late on in the competition.
Yeah, with District 4 having this position, we've seen how difficult it is to try and siege. This low ground approach is so deadly, but Subby-Pops is taken low. Kashka has the superior range. Like we mentioned, District 4 are using unorthodox weaponry. They're going for the revolver, they're going for the submachine gun, and as soon as you're left at that kind of range with a submachine gun, you are going to struggle indeed, even if Kashka is choosing to use the, according to him, off-meta FAMAS.
Yeah, the FAMAS is definitely, it's definitely getting the job done so far. At least let's take a look at those overall scores. So it pops with the most. We've got the change of venue. So
He's running the wrong way. He thought it was moving up to the other point. Oh, bless him. Oh dear. He knew I was going to roast him on stream.
It's next level strategy. It's next level strategy. You're coming in from the oblique angle. You see Kazka, it's coming around the side. Doctor doesn't see it coming at all. Get nailed down. Mirau as well has no defense. There we go. District 4 with some 4D thinking. Get right back on the point.
And Kashka will respawn right on the point again. This is one of the things we've already mentioned. If you keep one member alive at the end of the fight, kill all of your opponents, you are pretty much reinforced immediately. It's almost like a hard reset for your opponents. It's going to let District 4 take a lot of time on this point. They are starting to pull ahead. District 6 maybe gonna have to go into our final free-for-all. We'll see if Doctor's revolver proves potent in there, but right now, District 4 are certainly pulling ahead.
Yeah, this has been the punishment of sorts for being sporting in the previous round for Doctor and Mirau. Regretting every moment of it, I'm sure. And so Pops comes in, does get a knockdown. Will they 1v2 successfully? Mirau taken out. Kazka with the assist there. Almost a 1v2. But District 4 withholding onto the point.
And there's 30 seconds left on it, so they can get quite a lot of points here. They can afford to just try and hold this nice and aggressively. They don't need to go out onto map. They don't need to look for other people because Doctor and Mirau are going to have to go for him. Doctor switching to the sniper rifle. He pops him in the head, but Subby-Pops, he cleans up with the double. He will stay on that point. I like the switching up of weaponry. It shows that Doctor is a versatile man. He is prepared to adapt to the situation. Right now, he's maybe having to adapt to a final free-for-all.
Back in towards the center once again. It's a tunnel of love with District 4 close to hitting that 2,000 mark. That's a big pick up there for Mirau and Doctor, but Kazka comes in from the side, cleans up, and is first to the point.
He gets the flank down every single time. Is he going to be taken low? Doctor gets him with the revolver. He's taken low himself, but he will be able to get a bit of help back. Pops takes him down around now, getting the point. The submachine gun is very potent in this close range engagement around it, but he is low. Kashka will try and take him off, will get him, but Doctor is hunting for it. He's looking for it. He knows where he is. 2 versus 1 now, but reinforcements coming.
So if Pops is surviving, we can hear some heavy ordnance from the Doctor, who is going to go down here. Morale arriving just in time, though. With each of these teams having one member surviving for long enough, their teammates are spawning in time enough to reinforce.
And it is still double the score for District 4. The point will move, and you have to think this might be the final time. District 14 are going to have to grab this, but both teams are approaching at the same time. District 4 is going to be there just first.
Yeah, that is massive for them. They're going to double up 20 points each time. We're counting up to the very top. Will Dr. Amarai manage to survive any longer? The answer is a definitive no, and we have your final 3 teams.
That is going to be the game. District 4 managed to secure themselves into next week. Some good players coming through there. They seem to be working a bit more coordinated. That's the word I was looking for, not communicated. And it means that our finals, our free-for-all, is going to be District 10, District 6, and District 14. Now, are we going to a completely different map for this one? Are we staying on the same map? Are we going to throw it to a new one? New dynamics for everybody? I'm hoping so.
You ask these questions and I do not have the answers for you, Sarge. It's just as much of a mystery to me. I hope so, because it's a very different kind of game mode we'll be going into. As you said, there's a lot to be said for, how teams approach this strategically. Every single member of each of these teams is going to be in there. I think you've got, the thing is as well, because we've seen that when you're playing on a team, you'll respawn next to your teammate. But these guys aren't going to be playing on teams, so they can't just spawn in next to each other and kill each other all the time. And if they spend your time killing each other, then maybe you don't have enough firepower to take down anybody else.
I honestly have no idea. I think it is just going to be complete unbridled chaos. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but I'm hoping El Presidente can hear us. I hope we're going to get a new map, because it'd be nice to look at some new scenery. We've seen 2 very well put together maps, a familiar one, something a little bit different. The teams have performed very well, but I think throwing it somewhere else. I believe there was a Citadel map was one of them. There also looked like there was kind of a Mayan temple. Basically, could be good fun. But I mean, Officer Naughty is of course putting the game together now. I think he's trying to wrestle with the settings perhaps himself, make sure it's all up and together, because we haven't done a free-for-all yet this evening. It is going to be the first one, and just a reminder of how it's going to be scored. We will add together the scores of each district member to get a district score, and then the 2 lowest district scores will be going out. That's how we're planning to do it. Yes, I believe that if there's a tiebreaker, it's going to be based on which team has the member with the highest score overall. So hopefully that should resolve any tiebreakers if it does end out the way. I'm writing down all the members of all the teams, because this is going to be extremely confusing to try and follow from you guys' point of view, from our guys' point of view. But it's so District 6, which is Wales, Ireland, Republic of Ireland, and Scotland, with Darksel and Morkant. And possibly Muffin as well. Was Muffin playing? I can't remember. Yeah, BB Muffin, Darksel, and Morkant. District 10 is Akkers and Alex, and then District 14 is Doctor and Mirai. I can see Officer Naughty is going between the different teams at the minute. I think he's just chatting to them about what's going to happen. I think maybe he's told a member of District 6 to drop out, so it's a 2 versus 2 versus 2. That would make sense. Because otherwise it's going to be pretty I would say pretty one-sided, but everything else being equal, I think that would be too much of an advantage. But doesn't District 10 also have 3 players? I'm not sure. We can see Officer Naughty is doing the rounds between the different chat channels between our players. He's trying to update them on what's going on. I'm sure he's now back into District 10's voice chat. So we'll know in a little while we're of course waiting on him for the tournament code for the lobby access. It's gonna last 7 minutes, we're being told.
7 minutes in heaven. Ugh.
It's combined kills. Okay.
All right, let's put 7 minutes in hell. I think that works well.
Yeah, that works. That works nicely.
Okay, so Sarge, you and me.
Yes.
We're on a team here. We're part of the Hunger Games, and we are hungry to stay in the competition. What's our strategy coming into this final game? We're the two of the 2v2v2. What are we going to do? Are we going to play aggressively and chase around the map looking for kills, hoping we'll get more kills than deaths? Or do we play it out cautiously and try and control how many kills there are in the game?
I mean, if you're asking about strategy in a first-person shooter, you've clearly never played one with me. You get a submachine gun, you bunny hop around as much as you can, and you shoot anything that moves, even your own reflection, even your own shadow. Yeah, it's like we said, it is kills on your own team, your own district do count. So it's such a fast-paced game. I think by the time, if two district members do come across each other, by the time you've identified that they are your teammate, technically, I think you will already have been shot by someone else. So I think it's just going to be a case of try and pick a weapon you are comfortable with. Try and find maybe a section of map that you're comfortable with. We saw, there were a few choke points. There were a few good vantage points. You could potentially pick out a small section to try and defend where you know that you can't necessarily get flanked too much and pick people off as they come towards you. But then you run the risk of people not coming your way and just being sat there and you're not kind of contributing to anything. It's going to be a bit of a weird one because, like you said, there is that bit of dissonance between do you look and search for kills or do you prioritize staying safe? Because you need to do both, but you need to get more kills than deaths, so I don't know.
I think the important thing here is the idea that you can farm kills off of your teammates. It's partially true, but this is only still 6 people. This map is still pretty big. I think it's realistically, if you're just chasing after each other to shoot each other, then I don't know. I mean, it could be the best strategy. We've never been in this situation before, so I have to find out as the first blood falls across the Alex. Darksil and Akers all getting kills for themselves. As opposite Naughty says, this is going to be hectic.
It is going to be incredibly hectic. I think perhaps the free cam might be the easiest option, just circling around, trying to zoom in on where it looks like people are going to fight each other. Because Darksil, he's got 2 kills already. I believe Alex is doing work with a sniper rifle. We can see BB Muffin managed to pick off a headshot there. There's 4 members encroaching on this middle bit. It seems this red container could be a big kill zone where a lot of the players culminate.
I think that's absolutely right. Yeah, it's a very obvious place that can be reached from multiple different angles. See Akers hiding out, ton of love there, taking down Darksil and then falling in return. So let's keep an eye out. So Alex and Akers currently the top performing members overall so far.
We didn't take it into account that headshots give you extra points when we're thinking how we're going to work this out.
Well, I guess it's just going to be on points, isn't it? It's not
just going to be on score.
Oh,
it's just going to have to be on score.
I'm receiving confirmation. It's going to be on kills, not points. I don't know how we see those kills, but I think they'll come up on the scoreboard at the end, I'd imagine.
Okay, yeah, cool. I mean, so that, yeah, hopefully we're getting a hopefully we're going to come up at the end, but it is just absolute carnage for me. Like we're trying to pick out members, we're trying to follow people, and as we go through this section here, we can see Akers is going to be shot in the back. Alex will take him down, gets Doctor as well. His trusty revolver is not doing very well for him. Akers seems to be off to a bit of a killing spree. He's jump crouching his entire way around. He picks off Darksil. He's gonna get BB Muffin, will take him down using the submachine gun. Doctor's picking up one with the revolver. It is just a bloodbath in the center of our map.
The Akers dropping down and take out Muffin like it's nothing. And darting back into the center once again up against Morale. Gets caught in the crossfire though, as Muffin is eager for revenge.
And this is the thing, all of a sudden we have angles of fire coming from every single direction. You know, before you had the point, you had a good idea of where you were going to get shot from. There weren't a lot of cases of people coming out and playing aggressively and finding flanks. If you were defending, you knew you could be shot down 1, 2, maybe 3 different avenues, but that was it. Here, it is absolute bedlam. You have to check every corner, you have to check every single box, every walkway, and we can see now, it's caught in the middle between 2 people. You're going to get cut down in that firefight, even if you take one out.
So Alex and Akers up at the top of the scoreboard with 1,500 points each. As it's looking like Doctor is starting to crawl up the scoreboard. You can see their team, Morale and Doctor, haven't been doing so well so far. As Ireland's greatest comes in Darkcell. Not doing, I was going to say not doing that badly. Does pick up a couple of kills, taking out Akers along the way. It's not a bad way to get back in.
And I'm getting confirmation from Officer Naughty, something that I had suspected myself. There's 2 random people in. There are 2 assassins sent by President Naughty into the game because he forgot to put it on private. So we're gonna obviously just disregard the scores at the end. But hey, it's more carnage, it's more bedlam, it's more points that our players can earn. I believe one of them's going around with a FAMAS, this guy in the middle, Pal AoE, I think. Quickly climbing up the scoreboard. He's doing work. He clearly knows what he's about in this game.
Oh man, maybe we should get them into the Hunger Games. Because apparently they're doing some pretty nice stuff.
I mean, they'd be doing well in Krunker, but what about our other games? Oh, Officer Naughty is back.
I'm crying, keep going. Yeah, they're not going to count those scores. It's funny.
Oh, that's going to count.
Hello, Naughty-san.
He's gone. He's gone. As quickly as he appeared.
He was here so quickly and he disappeared again. Just like my daddy.
Okay.
2 minutes 30 left on the clock. Let's see who can buy themselves a bright new tomorrow. Certainly, Darkcell has been trying to get up the top. Akers is still, despite the presence of all of these assassins on the battlefield. I don't know quite how to get back to a specific player easily. So we're just going around. There we go. Alex. Cut down. Akers, where are you? Where are you?
One is taken out quite quickly. Where's Alex? I want to see Alex because he was using the sniper rifle, still using it. Wow, someone's going around with a knife. That's ballsy. Well, Alex is just picking people apart. Gets BB Muffin as well, really making every single shot count. You are not getting more than one opportunity to take this man down because he is surgical with this sniper rifle. Headshots just railing people and taking them down so quickly. His score must be skyrocketing right now.
Yeah, you say surgical, I say surgeon simulator with all the bones that are flying all over the place. Darkcell hiding in the corner, going for the old camperoo to try and survive. Currently, Doctor and Morale look like they may well be the lowest ranked, but it's the 2 lowest ranked teams who are going to get eliminated from the Hunger Games here and now today. Darkcell on the hunt, goes up against Morale, takes them down. In from the back comes BB Muffin and puts them down immediately.
The sniper rifle, the revolver, these heavy damage single shot weapons are really coming in clutch. The people are just disappearing in front of our eyes because of this pinpoint accuracy. Yes, you can have all the bullets in the world, you can have your assault rifles, your LMGs, your SMGs to spray and pray, but ultimately precision appears to be king as Alex, Doctor and BB Muffin are taking people down.
Taking them to school. Alex in control of the center. Instead, it's been the hot zone for the fighting so far as Doctor and Akers go face to face. Doctor does get the takedown with that pistol you noted before has been extremely effective. Doctor against Darkcell with Morale. It's a caster battle in the center of the map. 30 seconds
he gets the
left to
triple!
play. Darkcell, you monster!
With the triple, he manages to take them out, but there's simply too many people converging on this spot. He will go down. People are respawning. Dara is back alive once more. He's going to be trying to find a flank, but BB Muffin, he's playing aggressively. He drops down into the gut. He manages to find a kill. Darkcell takes down Doctor. Another casting rivalry has been cut short tonight, and with only 3 seconds left on the clock, I hope you're ready to do some quick maths counterfeit.
Oh boy.
Please tell me it shows us kills.
There we go. Let's screenshot this and throw this into our chat because we're going to need to figure out how this is going to work because we've also got to dismiss our players who are not even part of that. So.
Yep. Okay.
I think we've got a fairly good shout there with Doctor and Mirai from District 14, both being bottom of the table. We can pretty much give them the chop straight away.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. So that's District 14. Unfortunately,
Deleted.
the time has come. District 14, you will be getting. I mean, we will confirm these properly. We'll send them away to our adjudicators. They will count them up and send them back to us. But I think even my intellectual might can have a look at the two people from the same team being the bottom of the leaderboard and realizing they're not going on.
Well, I mean, it's actually pretty easy to follow on from that as well, because Darksil and BB Muffin are also from the same team, and they're in third and fourth place. So that means that Darksil may have stepped up towards the end of the game, scoring an almighty 24 kills. But Ireland, Wales, Scotland, all eliminated at the same time. What a disastrous day in the UK Hunger Games.
And that means that we have our winners? Winners? Are they?
Survivors!
So that's a better word. Survivors. District 10, Akkers and Ailic. Some precision shooting on those sniper rifles will send them through to next week of our Hunger Games. And I think we know what's going to be going on. I think, unfortunately, Counterfeit, although it has been a lot of fun, I think I'm going to have to disappear because El Presidente wants to make some sort of announcement. He's going to kick me out. I mean,
right.
I saw it coming at one point, but at least it's not one of his assassins coming for me.
All right, El Presidente coming. We'll hopefully get your camera lined up in the same place as Sarge's is, so we can see your beautiful face once more as the second stage has been concluded. There we go. Let's get you up on screen with, of course, obligatory, the Hunger Games tiara. Is the tiara going to the team that survives to the end?
Yeah, I could send out Royal Mail. I don't know how expensive it is, but yeah, probably could. Or it was just sort of to try and make me more of a president. But yeah, I hope it looks good.
It does. It looks real good.
All right, thank you. So yeah, really, really good stream. Amazing for all the districts that took part. This game's actually quite fun. I didn't realise.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to set up though. Like without a time limit. Sometimes the time limits work, sometimes they don't. I don't really know. So yeah, the score limits never really worked. But thank you for all the districts that took part, and thank you casters very much for the effort you put in. So the next Hunger Games will be happening on either Saturday or Sunday, depending on when people are more free. And the game will be League of Legends, but it will either be Mundo Baron Pit 1v1. For people who know about that, it's quite a niche little game.
I do not know about that.
Okay, so both teams basically have Mundo in a game, and they go to they have one person for each team, and they go to the Baron Pit. You make a wall of wards down the middle of the Baron Pit, and you stand on either side, and you have to just chuck your the cleaver. Yeah, until one person dies. But obviously, if you miss the cleaver, you lose health yourself. But if you hit the cleaver, they lose health and you get health back. So it's quite like
it's Mundo Dodgeball.
Yeah, Mundo Dodgeball. Okay, it's either going to be that or it's going to be 2v2 on Howling Abyss. So
okay,
I will make a decision really soon. It all depends on how many people have accounts because not everyone has a League of Legends account. So
yes, okay,
that is going to be next game, Saturday or Sunday.
So for any of our folks watching who may have been coming through my own personal channel who don't know where to look to find that new information, where should they be looking on these grand old intertubes to know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday, or indeed what style of League of Legends it will be as well?
So yeah, best to go with my Twitter, which is @OfficerNaughty with 2 Y's, not spelt funnily, just has 2 Y's, because the original Officer Naughty is a porn account, I think. So I'm trying to get that back from Twitter, but they won't let me have it at the moment. They say it's still active when it's not. So yeah, that's the best place to find out, and hopefully I will be updating as much as I can. It's quite a busy time at the moment with the old career and stuff.
Okay, so we're 2 days down in the Hunger Games. I guess just before we end things out today, is there anything you'd like to say to our teams who have been knocked out so far, who will no longer get to experience the joy that is this UK Hunger Games?
Yeah, so to Team District 6 and District 14, it was fantastic. You guys were a part of this. Thank you so much for signing up. It's turned out to be like quite popular, which is like really surprising and really nice to see the UK get behind it. Really sorry you guys had to get knocked out. Unfortunately, keep supporting. Better luck next time. May the odds be forever in your favour.
Alright guys, I think that's pretty much all we've got here. Officer Naughty, anything last to say before we call it a night here today?
No, get your mundos on. Get your mundo on. I think the mundo dodgeball sounds more fun.
Yeah, Mundo Dodgeball. Alright guys, so this weekend, coming up, Hunger Games part number 3. Thanks to Sarge again for joining me on the broadcast desk this evening. And keep an eye out on Officer Naughty's Twitter to find out where you can catch part number 3 of the UK Hunger Games.